All right, so you should memorize modes in at least two ways. The two different ways that you need to memorize your modes. The first way is pretty self-explanatory, and it is just the physical number in which the mode ends. So if we're playing C major, right, and that's our first mode, that's Ionian. So if you move one note up to D and you play all white keys, now you're in Dorian. If you move one note up and you play E, now you're in Phrygian, all white keys. Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeonian, Locrian, and back to Ionian. So the physical order that they come in is important because that lets you know on any instrument that you're in exactly which direction you need to go in to move one scale into a different mode. Then you also need to memorize them in the order of basically their flavor of brightness. Sorry, I was trying to move out of the shadow. So this is just the order of like light sounding to dark sounding. And this is important because it helps you start to easily memorize exactly which modes have sharps and flats in them. So the Ionian mode right here is the major scale. It doesn't have any sharps and flats, right? We just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's all the notes from that mode, right? So if we're in C Ionian, it's all white keys, right? But there is actually one mode higher, the Lydian mode. It sounds brighter. It has a sharp 4. So if we are in the C scale, C major, all white keys, and we want to play C Lydian, we would take the 4th, which in this case is F, and we would make it sharp. So you can play C Ionian or C major by playing all white keys from C to C, but if you want to play C Lydian, it's all white keys except for the F. You now play that black key, C. Right? That's why it's important to start memorizing the order of lightness and darkness. So if your major scale has no sharps and flats, Lydian is 1 sharp higher, it's the brightest. The next below major is the Mixolydian scale. And so it has all regular notes until you get to that 7th. It has a flat 7. So if we are in the C scale, right, and we're playing C major, and we want to play C Mixolydian instead, we would start with C and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So B is our 7th, and we would just flatten that, and we would play B flat. And now we're in C Mixolydian. And the reason that that's important is, like, say if you're playing E minor, right, we can't actually play that in C Mixolydian. It'd have to be E diminished. Because we don't have a B, we have to flatten that B. So that changes the chords you have access to. Below that is going to get one more darker. You've got Dorian, and so Dorian has that same flat 7, and it also flattens the 3rd. And that 3rd makes Dorian the very first minor scale. If you keep going, Aeolian, this is the true minor scale. So it has the same flat 7 and the same flat 3rd as Dorian, it just adds a flat 6. And Phrygian is the same thing. It has a same flat 7, flat 3rd, flat 6 as Aeolian, but it also has a flat 2. And then Locrian, the darkest scale, has a flat 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. And then if you flip back around, you're just going to wind up at another version of Lydian. It just goes in a circle like that. But if you start memorizing that order, see how they just add one more flat as it gets darker? You can start looking at your keys and going, hey, I'm in C major, right? Well, I don't want to be in C major. I want to be in C minor. Well, we know that C minor has a flat 3rd, a flat 6, and a 7. So we can count. Here's our 3rd. We flatten that, right? Here's our 6. Yeah, right here. And then right here. So if we want to play C minor, we just remove those notes and go. And that's why it's important to know your modes.